Have you ever wondered why when you have an idea or you start a new business or selling a product, it doesn't work and people don't want to buy it, or they don't buy your idea? What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Now there's three things that we always have to remember whenever we're trying to either sell an idea to our partner, our children, or sell a product. It's the same thing. Everything that we do in business, it can be transferred into general life. Now, when it comes to selling a product, for instance, think of you want to go to a theme park. Now, if you want to go to a theme park, would you go around looking for the local Bob Wilson's fun fair in a park? You probably wouldn't. But you'll pay a lot of money to go to Disney. Why? What's the difference? The big difference, the big key differences that exists is the way Disney have actually presented their product, what they actually sell, what they do. They've done it in a special, unique way. And this unique way is going to be available to you, so you can start thinking about how you can incorporate this into your business or even your life. Because one thing that is true, we are all salespeople. Even if you believe that we're not salespeople, we are all salespeople. You're making a sale to yourself every single day. Whenever you wake up in the morning, you're trying to sell yourself. Why should you get up to start the day? And there's two ways that could go. One could be, I've got to get to work, drudgery, blah, blah. Or it could be excited, full of passion, excited to get to work, excited to influence people, excited to add more value to people's lives. There's a huge difference. You're making a sale to yourself. But not only that, you're also making a sale when you're at work. Even if you're not in the selling the product idea, when you're speaking to colleagues, when you're speaking to clients, when you're speaking to anyone, you are selling yourself and you want to be shown in the best way. Now, when it comes to selling a product, and I will transfer it over to general life so there's a better understanding, there's three areas that we have to completely and utterly focus on. And those three areas are product, the actual product that we're selling. Number two is the actual company, and number three is you. Now, the most important of those three is the product. A lot of business owners, a lot of people start confusing the company, building the brand to be the most important thing. But there's no point in building a company and organization if there aren't sales, if your product is rubbish. Your product has to be great. But the same is true now when you transfer it from the business world and bring it into your life. The product is basically just the idea that you have to try to influence your partner to do something. Maybe your children, you want to try influencing them to do something. That's the most important part, the actual idea. The idea that you present to yourself or others has to be 10 out of 10. It has to be fantastic. It has to be amazing. Otherwise, no one's going to buy into your idea. But the second part, which is in the business world, the company, the actual company ethos, the values, the mission statement, the same is true for the experience. That's in the taking it from business and bringing it to our life. That is the actual experience that we are presenting needs to be 10 out of 10. Now, the third thing, are you trustworthy? Have you been trustworthy? Do you always think of others, or do you think of yourself? Now, if in the past experience you haven't, or only thought about yourself, the trust is broken, then no matter what you do with your product, with your company, or with your idea and trying to give the best experience, nobody's going to want to hang out with you. So be you is a very important part, the trustworthiness. All aspects are hugely important. However, the steps that it goes through is the product or / the actual idea, the company or / the experience, and then it brings everything home. That's the closing part. Now let's just quickly go through this. Now I'm going to present it into the business world because that's where my experience is mostly. The first thing is the actual product, which, like I said, is the idea. Now, when you have a product always has a core, an actual core. For example, if you go to a hot dog stand, and you want to buy a hot dog, you can have a hot dog without the bun. You can have a hot dog without the ketchup. You can have a hot dog without the relish. But you can't have a hot dog without the hot dog. Same is true is if you have a gym, your core is you can have a gym without personal trainers. You can have a gym without receptionists. You can have a gym without a building. Venice Beach. But you can't have a gym without equipment. If you don't have any equipment within a gym, it just becomes a studio. And that's a completely different business. The core is the core. We have to think about the core offer. What are we actually offering? The core offer. Like in the nursery world, in the business that I'm in at the moment, the nursery, our core is the staff team. Because without the staff team taking care of the children, it's just going to be a room full of children running around. So the core of is our staff team. Same thing, you got to think about your business. What is your core? What is your actual core? But even if it's not your business, what is your core offer that you're trying to, your idea, your core idea? Now you might say, oh, I've got an idea. Let's go to Disney. Why do you want to go to Disney? The core of the Disney is the experience of having fun. No, you can have fun anywhere. What is it all about? That idea that you've got, the core idea. But that's dependent on what you value. Now, when it comes to your idea or your own experience, the same thing applies. You have to figure out right down to the core. And there's a great method of finding out the core idea is by asking yourself why. Why do you want to go to Disney? Because I want to have fun. And it's a 7 methods. I've just learned this method. It's a 7 why method. Why do you want to go to Disney? Oh, I want to go to Disney because it's amazing. Why do you think it's amazing? Oh, because there's so many rides there. It's this massive experience. Why do you value that so much? Why do you think it's so much amazing experience? Oh, because when I'm with my family, I'm having so much fun. Oh, so why are you having so much fun with your family? Because when I'm at that time, we can't escape. There's no phone calls. We're just enjoying the experience of the ride together. Okay, so why are you enjoying that experience together? Because when we're sitting there together, we've had the same experience. We're synchronized. We're together. We bond. We're able to talk about things. Whereas in normal day life, we're running around and we say hello and walk off. But here, we're together. Oh, so that's just only 5 levels. Once you get to the why, it goes down to the 7th level. You'll find out the why. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on this. So that's the product, the core product of your idea. You need to make sure that's the best. And you need to sell that first. That's the most important thing. If you can't sell that, there's no point in even venturing off into doing the business side of it or trying to make yourself amazing, because if the actual core idea doesn't work, then it's not going to work, or the core product. Now the second thing is the actual company. Now you got to think of the company. The actual company is the mission. What mission statement have you got for your company? What values do you have? What values do you value? This is hugely important, because the whole entire business that you're going to be going into, the whole structure of it, is going to be dependent on you. Virgin is Virgin because Richard Branson values customer service by giving. Hilton is Hilton because the Hiltons value luxury. Disney is Disney because Walt Disney wanted to give a family experience and unite the world together for the children. That's the values that people have. You can see every company that you visit, the values. And the companies that don't have values and are just running around, it's just like a mess in there, then the clients can see that as well. People that walk through, your clients will be able to see that when they walk through your business, when they come in. So you need to be able to say, why do you exist? Why do you exist? Why are you giving this experience to the clients? Why do you want the clients to come? And it always should be for the benefit of them. And this is a huge important thing, because there's always two things in life that we always have to focus on. And that's number one, features and benefits. We need to know what features and benefits are. Now, features is basically saying, oh, we have a nice table over here. This is lovely. The table over here. We have a nice screen at the back of it. We've got a nice boxing bag right over here. Another boxing bag over here. A nice little dragon on the wall. Who cares? What's in it for me? The client's thinking. Now, if I say to you, this bag over here, this bag has been with me for the last 30 years. Everything I've learned in life is from that bag, because whenever I felt down, whenever I felt like I needed motivation, that was my first bag. That was the bag that I defeated my internal ego on. That's the bag that pushed me to start my business. That's the bag that motivated me. That's the bag that got me healthy. That's the bag that can get you healthy. Boxing is a fantastic way to release energy, release negativity, and to feel great, because serotonins are released. Now that's a benefit to you. Now you know it's just not a boxing bag anymore. Any of these boxing bags, any boxing bags you see, you're gonna see a way of releasing negative pent-up emotions. You're gonna see serotonins being released when you're boxing, if you enjoy that. Now, obviously, if you don't enjoy that, there's other ones, like there's a Swiss ball there. There's a feature, Swiss ball. What's the benefit? You build your core on it. That's the core stabilizer, and the core is needed for everything. Core is needed to just stand. If you don't have a strong core, your back's gonna start hurting. So that is the ball that gives you that strength, and there's techniques that you can use. Now all of a sudden you're interested, because that's what's in it for me. I'm going to be able to stand up stronger. I'm going to get abs. I'm going to get toned up on that. There is the benefit and feature. Now, that is a huge part of the actual selling the whole company aspect, or your experience. When you are trying to sell an experience, you need to actually think about how are you going to be selling the benefit to them. What's in it for them? What's in it for you? When you're watching this, what's in it for you? If I'm standing here saying, oh, I'm so fantastic, I'm so great, I'm so muscly, I'm so pumped, look at me, you're going to think, forget this. If I'm saying, listen guys, this is the secret sauce that I've learned through trial and error over and over again, and it's taken me so much time, so many years struggling through to figure this out and learning constantly, and I'm just telling you this in a 10 to 15 minute footage, and you can get this information just like that. You've just saved all that time that I've spent. You've just gained 20 years immediately just by watching that, and that's the benefit. Here's the secret. That's the secret. So what's in it for them? The company, the mission statement. You need to think about what do you value, the company. Now the final thing is trustworthy. You need to be trustworthy, because if you are not trustworthy, then you're just conning them. You are conning yourself, you're conning them. You got to love the product. You got to love your company, because if you don't, and you're very good at lying, then you're not really thinking about the client themselves. If it's an idea you're trying to sell to your partner, to your children, to your friends, maybe you want to go watch the new Avengers movie or Pokemon movie, but it's all about yourself because you love Pokemon and the other people don't like Pokemon, then you're not really thinking of others. And that's where it fails. People will say no thanks, and they'll walk out. So you have to work on yourself to be trustworthy, to have a story a true story where you've shown that you've been trustworthy, that you've fulfilled on your promise, that you moved forward and changed lives. That's the key here. So that's the 3 areas that we need to focus on. If we're able to sell that in a way, sell those 3 ideas, the product. When it comes to business, it's the product. The actual product is the most important part, because if the product isn't great, then you're not going to make any sales. If you don't make sales, you got no cash. If you got no cash, the company goes broke. So product is the product or slash service is the most important part if you're in the service industry. The second is the whole company that encapsulates it. The third is you. And if you put these three things together and put it a 10 out of 10, you're able to influence another person, explain it in a way where you have a story that you can explain how these are 10 out of 10. Explain a story of why you are here working in this business. Explain why why the company exists. There's always a story why the company exists. That way you get more clients. But the same is true with experiences and the idea and you. Exactly the same. You will realize in life that any area, in any business, there will always be courses, there will always be books that will teach many techniques, but once it's all broken down and you take out all these things, it all comes down to one section. That one section that everything else has come out from is basically working on yourself. Because any area, it might be marketing, it might be accounting, it might be architecture, it might be nursery, it might be service, it might be the gym industry, it might be the real estate, it might be any area. If you take all the techniques that work, it all comes down to how you influence yourself. Because all those ideas have been created by humans. Now, when we actually go down to the core of us, who we are, then you can go to any industry. I've been in many different industries, and that's where I've realized the secret. The secret sauce is there's only one source. They're just labeled differently in different categories. That's the reason why I'm able to say business, your idea, childcare, relationship, they're all the exact same. But what do? They package it different. So people will be targeted different. It's a different clientele that's looking for relationship advice. There's a different clientele that's looking for parenting advice. There's different clientele, a different market that's looking for real estate. But every single idea is exactly the same. And it comes down to the product, the company, the actual company, and yourself. But the key is working on yourself, because that's where it all originates from within your mind. Guys, I hope this helps, and I hope you realize what my experiences are. My experience is finding loopholes in every single industry and bringing it back, and I've just told you the biggest secret. Anything you have, any experience you want, you will learn from one industry, then another industry, and another industry, and another industry, and then you will realize they're all the exact same, but just with a different word, a different language, a different way of saying it, but it's all the exact same. And it comes down to everything we know already. It's all inside of us. It's all hidden down, and it just needs to be unearthed. So guys, keep adding value to people's lives, keep spreading the love, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing the future, and that idea is within you. Take care.